In this latest release of Naviate Structure, we have just launched the first iteration of our new feature, Element Detailing. As with all our new features, where possible, these are also available in Revit 2023, 24 and of course Revit 2025. Element Detailing will group, number and track similar elements based on their geometric shape and user selected parameters. Once the groups have been established, a numbering system can then be applied. In this example, we will number and group all of our universal beams together. In order to do this, we must set up a filter. We can pre-select this by going to the Accelerate tab, and in the Find and Select panel, we can go ahead and select Filter Elements. In the Filter Elements dialog, you'll notice here that I've already got one configured for steel beams. Looking at this filter, you'll notice that it's only for universal beams, with a section shape that is configured to an I shape. Of course here we could create more filters and save those as required. To start element detailing, we'll select the Structure tab, and in the Common panel we'll select Element Detailing. To begin, we'll go ahead and select our filter. Let's go ahead and choose Steel Beams, and we'll click OK. And then we'll analyse the selection. Naviate has now analysed the geometry of all of those beams along with the structural material and the type and the cut length. If they're the same, then it will actually group those and give them an NV count value. Looking into the data grid here, if we single select one of the rows in the data grid, that will go ahead and select all of the elements within the project. If we want to have Naviate zoom to this, then we can double click, and of course it will then zoom to the extents of those elements. The data grid can be sorted by any parameter in here. So for example, if I wanted to sort these by the cut length, I can simply click on the header and you'll see that they're then sorted by those cut lengths. Let's now configure a numbering system. So for the prefix here, I'm going to have B and then hyphen, and I want a padding of 3 decimal places. So I can just put in 3 zeros here, and then I can add my start number, in this case 1. I'll then go ahead and renumber the equal elements. And we can now see a preview of that numbering system. Of course again, I can organise the data grid by selecting on the number header, and I can see now the numbers in sequential order. If I'm happy with that number in sequence, I can then go ahead and save that, and I'll then close down the Element Detailing dialog. Let's now have a look at the results in Revit. To do this, I'm going to use Colour Elements, so I'll select Accelerate tab, and in the Find and Select panel, we'll select Colour Elements. And in the Colour Element dialog, we want to go ahead and select Structural Framing. And here we can select our instance parameter that we want to evaluate. In this example here, it's going to be Element Detailing Number. And of course, we can now review all of those and the various different colours applied to them. If we also want to see the grouping, we can go to NV Count. And again, we can now see that grouping applied. And of course, if we wanted to see all of these in isolation, we could just go ahead and select all of the elements in the data grid. We can then show the elements in the properties. And of course, we could then isolate those elements. And we can now see all of the elements that have been grouped. Let's now see what happens if we make a change to any of these elements. So we'll select this beam here, and I'm going to get rid of the start and end join cutback. Of course, that will make the cut length a bit longer. We will also select another beam, and I'm not going to make any geometric changes to this, but I will change the material. So let's go ahead and change the grade of steel. And we'll then close down the Colour Element dialog, and we'll reset our filter. Let's now go back to Element Detailing. So we'll select the Structure tab, and in the Common panel, we'll select Element Detailing. And in the Element Detailing dialog, we'll now go ahead and reanalyse. Of course, notice while this is reanalysing, we can also see the last time that this was analysed. So now we can actually look for those changes, and of course it's nice and easy because you'll see that the data grid is highlighted in yellow. So scrolling down through the changes here, I can see a material change over here, but I can also see a geometry change in here. So again, I can evaluate those simply by double clicking them, and then Naviate will go ahead and zoom to those affected elements. But in this example here, what I might want to do is now revise those. So I can actually make those revisions here, and if I'm happy with those, I can go ahead and save them. Closing down the element detailing dialog, again, we could now go ahead and make use of colour elements to actually track those revisions. So again, I can go into structural framing here. In the data grid, I can go down and find my revision for element detailing. And of course now anything that's been revised is going to show up in cyan in this example. Once again, we can pick the row there. We could isolate those to actually see all of the elements that have now been revised. So let's also take a look at this with piling. So what I want to do now is track changes that happen to my piling layout. And in this example, I'm just going to change the view. So we'll open up a working view in this example here. We'll then go ahead and make a filter for this. So we'll go to the Accelerate tab. We'll go to our Filter Elements tool. And in this example here, I want to expand structural foundations and I want to select all of my piling inside here. So we'll just go ahead and save this and we'll call it piling. And our filter is now created. Again, we'll go to the Structure tab and launch Element Detailing. And in this example here, we'll now change the filter. So of course this time we want to go ahead and use piling. Of course we're going to need to edit the configuration, so we can go into the Configuration tool. And this time, of course, we're going to import. So we'll import our configuration and we'll go ahead and select OK. So we can now see the data grid populated. In this workflow, we're not actually going to use any of the numbering tools here. I just want to be able to track changes. So now with that done, we'll go ahead and make some changes to the piling layout. So what we might want to do here is just go ahead and move one of these piles. Okay. So I'm just going to move it by a small amount. Okay. And you'll notice that this is a single pile. This is just loose. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll actually move one of the piles nested in the pile cap as well. And of course we could also change the length just so we can see that as well. So we'll select this pile cap and we'll change the pile length here to perhaps 11,000. So now we'll just go ahead and update the coordinates, because obviously the coordinates are what we're actually tracking movement on in this example. We can see now the coordinates have updated. So we'll go back and relaunch the Element Detailing tool. And again, in the Element Detailing dialog, all we now need to do is reanalyze the data grid. Of course, because we're making comparisons on the easting and northing, we can just go through and actually look for any sort of highlights in those data rows. So looking down through here, I can see there's one straight away. So that's going to need revising. That's been moved. And once again, we can just visualize this by selecting it and see the pile that's actually changed. So of course, that was the one we moved. And again, scrolling down through the data grid a bit further, we can now see the 3 piles that have changed as well. And these are the ones where we changed the position. So now that I've identified these changes here, again, we can revise those elements and you can now see the revisions populated through. And again, we can just apply those revisions inside there. And of course now we can close down the Element Detailing dialog. And once again, we can use colour elements to be able to track and visualise those revision changes. It's worth bearing in mind that all of these configurations can be saved, of course. So in here, let's go through and select our NV Element Detailing revision inside here. And once again, we can very clearly see all of those elements that have been revised. Okay, so these sort of workflows enable the visualization of change management for any loadable family in Revit. And of course, this removes the possibilities of errors and communication errors with others.